Now we are discussing about nitrogen cycle. That is how nitrogen is transported in the atmosphere. Next, introduction. Nitrogen cycle is the process by which nitrogen is converted between its various chemical forms. This transportation can be carried out via both biological and non-biological processes. Important processes in nitrogen cycle includes fixation, mineralization, nitrification, denitrification. The majority of Earth's atmosphere consisting of approximately 78% of nitrogen. The major microbial nitrogen transformations. One is nitrogen fixation, next one is nitrification, next one is denitrification, next one is NMOX, next one is ammonification. Here we are observing atmospheric nitrogen gas is fixed by the nitrogen fixing bacteria. This nitrogen is converted into nitrates. These nitrates are absorbed by the plants. These plants are consumed by animals. These animals are excrete ammonia. This ammonia is converted into nitrates, or these nitrates are converted into nitrates. These nitrates are directly converted into dinitrogen atoms and enter into the atmosphere. Next, coming to the nitrogen fixation, is nothing but the atmospheric nitrogen molecules are converted into ammonia by nitrogen fixing bacteria. Here we are observing equation by the cyanobacteria. Nitrogen in presence of proton converted into ammonia plus proton molecule. Nitrification. The atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by the nitrogen fixing bacteria to yield ammonia. This ammonia is used by the living microorganisms and converted into nitrate. Here we are observing that ammonia is converted into nitrate by nitromonas and nitrobacter. Nitrate and nitrite. Denitrification. Denitrification is nothing but the conversion of nitrate to nitrogen under anaerobic condition is known as denitrification. Here nitrate is converted into dinitrogen molecule in presence of bacillus, propococcus, pseudomonas, etc. NMOX. NMOX is the process. This is the biological process. In this, nitrite and ammonium are converted directly into the dinitrogen gas. We are observing that the nitrite and ammonia is directly converted into dinitrogen gas is nothing but the NMOX. This process contributes up to 50% of the dinitrogen gas produced in ocean. This process is we are observing the ocean. It is thus a major sink for fixed nitrogen and so limit oceanic primary productivity. The overall catabolic reaction is ammonia plus nitrite gives rise to nitrogen molecule plus water. Procardia. The procardia bacteria that perform the NMOX process belongs to the bacterial phylum Planctomycetes, of which Planctomycetes and Perillula are the best known genera which are present in oceans, which converts nitrite and ammonia directly into the dinitrogen gas. ammonification process. Ammonia is released during the decomposition of organic nitrogen compounds such as amino acids and nucleotides. A process is known as ammonification. Organic nitrogen is converted into the ammonia by the bacteria. Rhizobium is nothing but the ammonification. Here we are observing the nitrogen cycle. Here we are observing atmospheric nitrogen or nitrogen fertilizers. They are entered into soil. After that they are converted into the ammonium molecule by the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Then nitrification bacteria, this ammonia is converted into the nitrate. Then this is uptake by the plants, or this is converted into denitrification process, leads to the converted into the nitrogen molecule. Here we are observing the role of microorganisms in nitrogen cycle. The processing of nitrogen into a biological useful form requires the activity of microorganisms. Here we are observing the atmospheric nitrogen. This atmospheric, left side we are observing the atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by the nitrogen fixing bacteria that is present in the legume root nodules. Then after then this nitrogen molecule, a nitrogen fixing molecule, is converted into the ammonium. This this process is nothing but the ammonification. Here we are observing the plants and animals. Plants and animals, by the decomposition process, leads to the process of the ammonia, organic matter. Then ammonia formation occurs. This ammonia is converted into the nitrite due to the process of nitrification by the nitrifying bacteria. This nitrite is converted into nitrate. This nitrate is by the nitrifying bacteria. Then this nitrate is assimilated into the plants, or this denitrifying bacteria converted into the atmospheric nitrogen. Here we are observing different types of processes, different types of bacteria responsible in the nitrification cycle, nitrogen cycle. Here we are observing the nitrogen fixing bacteria, ammonification bacteria, nitrification bacteria, and denitrifying bacteria. These different types of bacteria is responsible for the atmospheric nitrogen fixation. Here we are observing different, that is, nitrogen forms the main bulk of the atmosphere, is nothing but the 78%, as well as the biological systems. Various nitrogenous compounds, that is proteins, enzymes, chlorophylls, nucleic acids. అంటే మీరు ఇప్పుడు దాకా విన్నది ఏంటంటే ఒక రకమైన నోట్స్, ఇది అనదర్ బుక్లో ఉన్న నోట్స్. అంటే ఏ నోట్స్ను ఫాలో అయినా మీకు పర్వాలేదు, అర్థమవుతుందా? కానీ ఏంటంటే మీకు మెటీరియల్ కోసం నేను ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఎక్కువ ఇస్తున్నాను. ఇక్కడ నైట్రోజన్ సైకిల్లో ఇస్తున్నాను, కార్బన్ సైకిల్లో ఇస్తున్నాను, ఫాస్ఫరస్ సైకిల్లో ఇస్తున్నాను. సో కాబట్టి అది నైట్రోజన్ సైకిలే, ఇది నైట్రోజన్ సైకిలే. కానీ ఏంటంటే ఇది డిఫరెంట్ బుక్స్లో నోట్స్, అదేమో డిఫరెంట్ మెటీరియల్. సో కాబట్టి మెటీరియల్లో డిఫరెన్స్, కానీ సైకిల్ అంతా కామన్. మీరు అది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. అంటే ఏంటి సార్ ఇన్ని మెటీరియల్స్ ఇలా ఇచ్చారు అనుకోకుండా, అంటే ఏంటంటే మీకు మెటీరియల్ కోసం నేను ఇలా ఇస్తున్నాను. నైట్రోజన్, you are observing the nitrogen forms the main bulk of atmosphere as well as the biological systems. Various nitrogenous compounds is nothing but the proteins, enzymes, chlorophyll, nucleic acids. play a vital role in the life process of organism. The atmospheric nitrogen is chemically inert and is not directly taken by most of the living organisms. We are observing microorganisms which play a significant role in the operation of nitrogen cycle may be divided into following four major groups. Group one is these microorganisms, those microorganisms which are capable of fixing atmospheric nitrogen, that is combining free nitrogen with other elements or compounds. Group 2, those microorganisms which bring about the production of ammonia, that is ammonification. Those microorganisms which oxidize ammonia to nitrite and nitrite to nitrate is nitrification. Those microorganisms which are capable of transferring nitrate to nitrogen or nitrous oxide is known as denitrification. We are observing the flow chart, that is systematic representation of the nitrogen cycle. We are observing atmospheric nitrogen. Here we are observing the left side. Atmospheric nitrogen is converted into nitrate in soil by the formation of lightning, rains and discharge, etc. Then we are observing the biological, this is the natural process. Then we are observing the biological nitrogen fixation by the microorganisms in plant root nodules. These plant nodules, then the combustion or burning of the plants, then nitrogen is entered into the atmosphere, or the natural nitrate in the soil is absorbed by the plants. Then we are observing the death of the plants are decaying. It produces decaying products. These decaying products are denitrifying bacteria, is nothing but the Bacillus denitrificans is converted into nitrogen. Here plants are feeding by animals. Animal death or excretion leads to the formation of decaying products. These are denitrifying by the Bacillus denitrification. Whenever the decaying products are not denitrifying, these are entered into the oceans like a seaways. Okay. We are observing this nitrate is converted into, we are observing the nitrites. Nitrites are converted into nitrifying bacteria, nitrobacter. This nitrate is entered into the, absorbed by the plants. These ammonium salts, man-made nitrogenous compounds, are spreading nitrates and ammonium salts. These ammonium salts are converted into nitrites, nitrifying bacteria, nitrosomonas, nitrosococcus. This nitrite is converted into nitrate in soil and absorbed by the plants. Here we are observing the fixation of free nitrogen molecule, that is biological N2 fixation. A large number of microorganisms are known to have the ability to reduce atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compound. This conversion of atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds by the microorganisms is known as biological nitrogen fixation. Here we are observing the ammonification or mineralization. Proteins and nucleic acids of the dead remains of the plants and animals, and the excretory products of the animals are degraded by the microorganisms with the liberation of ammonia. That is, degradation of the plants and animals leads to the production of or liberation of the ammonia is nothing but the ammonification. Ammonification occurs in through two processes. One is proteolysis, next one is amino acid degradation. Proteolysis is nothing but the breakdown of proteins into the simpler forms is nothing but proteolysis. Next one is amino acid degradation is nothing but the amino acids are undergo degradation by the microbial attack is nothing but the amino acid degradation. In the proteolysis, Clostridium species or Pseudomonas or Proteus, Bacillus, etc. is responsible for the conversion of proteins into amino acids. Here we are observing the equation proteins. Proteins are converted into peptides. Protein is a long chain. These are converted into peptides in presence of protease enzyme. These protease enzymes are responsible for the conversion of proteins into peptides. These peptides are converted into simpler form amino acids by using the enzyme peptidase. Peptidase is responsible for the conversion of peptides into amino acids. These formed amino acids are converted into ammonia by the bacterial degradation. We are observing the amino, for example, alanine. In presence of oxygen combustion, in presence of enzyme alanine deaminase leads to the formation of the pyruvic acid and ammonia. This total process is nothing but the ammonification. Ammonification consisting of is also known as mineralization. It consisting of proteolysis and amino acid degradation. Next one, nitrification. Ammonia produced by the degradation of manure and organic matter may not be directly available even to those plants which can use it, for it is readily leached from soil and is usually converted to the nitrate with the help of certain microorganisms. This oxidation of ammonia to nitrate is called as nitrification. Nitrification is carried out in two stages by specific bacteria. We are observing two stages: oxidation of ammonia to nitrite. Here we are observing the ammonia in presence of oxygen, it converted into nitrite plus water. In presence of bacteria, nitrosomonas are the most important agents of oxidation of ammonia to nitrite in soil. In addition, certain other bacteria, Nitrosococcus, Nitrosolobus, Nitrospira, Nocardia and Streptomyces have been known to oxidize ammonia to nitrite. Next, second process is oxidation of nitrite to nitrate. Here, first process, nitrite is formed. This nitrite in presence of oxygen is converted into nitric acid. This oxidation of nitrite to nitrate in soil is depend on the activity of bacteria belonging mainly to the genera Nitrobacter. In addition, certain fungi, Cephalosporium, Aspergillus, Penicillium have been reported able to carry out nitrification. Nitrification was discovered in the biological process is Schlissing and Mensch. Vinogradski isolated the bacteria responsible for the biological nitrification in 1890s. Next process, first one is ammonification, next one is nitrification, next one is denitrification. The transformation or reduction of nitrate to nitrogen gas or nitrous oxide by certain microorganisms is called denitrification. In this process, in this process depletes the soil of an essential nutrient, the nitrogen, for plant growth, and therefore is not desirable. Some important microorganisms responsible for this process are Thiobacillus denitrificans, Micrococcus denitrificans, and some species of Serratia, Pseudomonas, Bacillus, Acromobacter, and Paracoccus. This process of denitrification is completed by the means of various steps present of reductase enzyme. We are observing that the nitrate is converted into nitrate. Here flow of equations due to the reductase enzyme. Denitrification does not occur any significant degree in well aerated soils with moderate amount of nitrate and organic matter. It occurs seriously in waterlogged anaerobic soils with the high organic matter content. మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చెప్తున్నాను వినండి. నేను నైట్రోజన్ సైకిల్, కార్బన్ సైకిల్, ఫాస్ఫరస్ సైకిల్ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఈ 3 సైకిల్లో కూడా నేను డిఫరెంట్ మెటీరియల్స్ని ఇంక్లూడ్ చేశాను. ఒకటి టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఇంకోటి నెట్లోంచి గ్యాదర్ చేసిన మెటీరియల్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో కాబట్టి ఒక పార్ట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇంకో పార్ట్ ఇస్తున్నాను. ఆ రెండు ఒకటే మెటీరియల్. ఇక్కడ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేసినప్పుడు నైట్రోజన్ సైకిల్లో మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక పార్ట్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇంకో పార్ట్ వచ్చింది. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇది టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ మెటీరియల్, అది వేరే మెటీరియల్, కానీ అందులో ఉన్న మ్యాటర్ ఇందులో ఉన్న మ్యాటర్ ఒకటే. మీరు టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ మెటీరియల్ ఫాలో అవుతారా, ఎదరిచ్చిన మెటీరియల్ ఫాలో అవుతారా అనేది మీ ఇష్టం. మీరు నోట్స్ తయారు చేసుకోవడానికి ఈజీగా ఉంటుందని అన్ని రకాల మెటీరియల్స్ని నేను ఇంక్లూడ్ చేశాను. సో కాబట్టి మీరు అది అబ్జర్వ్ చేసి చదువుకోండి.